This episode of Sportsman's News Television is brought to you by the Sportsman's News Pro Membership Sweepstakes, where everyone hunts and fishes like the pros. Ford Trucks, Sitka Gear, Browning, Outdoor Edge Knives, Alps Outdoors, and Sportsman's Warehouse.
Hi, I'm Mike Deming, host of Sportsman's News Television. On this episode, we're headed to Sonora, Mexico with Hugo Lara and HR Big Game Hunts. You know what, one might ask why we're going to Sonora, Mexico and traveling so far to kill big trophy mule deer when I live in Utah right now and we've got the Paunsaugunt right in our backyard, which is home to some great mule deer. I grew up in Colorado, which is the bordering state. This was the first mule deer I ever killed. So to say that we have a lot of big mule deer around here is an understatement. But the thing about going to Sonora, those hunts take place in the latter part of December, all of January, and the first part of February. The thing about that is the hunts are absolutely phenomenal because that's the prime of the rut for the mule deer that far south. Also, the weather up here up north is pretty cold by that time of the year, and I'm turning into a sissy as I get older. I love the Mexican culture, I love the food, and the chance that you have an opportunity to truly kill a mule deer of a lifetime down there is definitely a reason to go down there each and every year. Our hunt winner, Carl Christensen from right here in Utah, is in his late 70s, and it has been over 4 decades since he was able to kill a really big mule deer, and he had almost quit hunting. So stick around, let's see what the desert of Sonora, Mexico has for Carl Christensen this week. Carl is from Utah as well, and has seen his share of big mule deer bucks. He hunted back in the heyday of mule deer hunting, which was back in the late 1960s. Now into his 70s, and with an opportunity that the Pro Membership Sweepstakes has provided him, is truly rewarded for being one of the first members.
First day, baby. Game on. Started seeing deer.
Our first drawing ever was in March 30th of 2015, and Carl joined on March 5th of that year. His persistence and dedication to staying a member as we grew finally got him a chance at chasing big mule deer once again.
How long has it been since you passed on a deer like that?
It's been a lot of years. I haven't seen one like that for a lot of years.
This persistence and dedication is exactly what it takes to be successful here in the desert.
He's really tall.
Yeah, he's got good backs,
tall,
16-inch backs, and he's got maybe 38 mass.
What's that one? One is a...
One's a pretty good fork.
Yeah.
He was just a straightforward, nice, deep forks, real massive, big, deep chest, mature deer. But, you know, even though we were up on the ledge here, or bluff, you can just see short pieces of them going in and out and smelling and eating. He looked like he was tracking the doe, so it's a lot of deer for Mexico. This is more deer than you usually see in an entire week-long hunt. We've seen it this morning, an hour maybe. Hugo got it going on.
I pretty well quit hunting. Seriously. I've wondered if my bullets was even any good anymore.
We had spotted a heavy horn mature buck from our lookout, but unable to judge him from this distance, we moved in hoping for a closer look. Our spotters put us right in the middle of the deer, as you can see by the thick cover.
What was he, Mike? What was he? That's the one coming here.
Did he look like a shearer?
I couldn't tell, man.
Like a shearer to me, but
I didn't see a kicker, but I didn't get a lock. Yeah, big, heavy horn, mature deer.
No,
Yeah, the other one's at 3. The one that just went through us.
no, the other one just went through to 2.
The one that you're looking at to the buck is to the right. Nope,
That's the kicker buck.
that's the kicker buck.
Kicker buck.
I'm on him.
You have a lot going on when you're trying to determine trophy quality, film the event, and get on target to deliver a fatal shot.
See his horns moving around.
I don't know, Mike. That's a pretty good deer.
We did.
Is he anywhere near a 180?
He's like 70.
I think I'd like to get a little bit bigger one, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, we can pass him. Jeez.
So the night before, we're on a deer that's maybe 22 inches wide, 2 or 3 years old. It's about 150 inches, and Carl's willing to shoot this deer, and he couldn't believe that we weren't letting him shoot the deer. And here we are, less than 24 hours later, we have got a big, old, mature buck. He's got extra points, stickers, kickers, everything something that somebody would want that hasn't killed a mature deer in a really long time. But now he's a trophy hunter. It's amazing what 24 hours will do in some premium mule deer country with some other trophy hunters. After spending the rest of the day deer shopping, we caught this buck right at last light. He is tall and has good forks.
I think he's a shooter.
You sure?
Yeah, he's gonna go to the left.
Are you sure?
No. Just let him go left. Let's shoot that deer.
He's pretty tall, man.
But making the judgment call to shoot is like an NFL ref making a judgment call at full speed, and you just don't want to get it wrong. There is no instant replay to get it right.
We need to look at him again, but that's the biggest one we've seen.
Shooter buck. Finally, after another full day in the high rack, and a desert giant shows himself.
Do you see him? You see him?
God almighty, how come I can't see him?
Unfortunately, Carl wasn't able to find him in the scope just over 200 yards, and the buck slipped into the thick cover.
Just have.
Couldn't pick him up with a scope.
Did you see him with your binos?
Yeah, I did. When I first started looking, I see him standing right there.
Okay.
I never could pick him up when I had a hold of the gun.
We've had 2 full days of hunting, and both days we've had shooter bucks, so we're still at it. We got on a really wide one last night. Looked like a 190 type frame deer, and we're looking for him again today. So.
After the struggles of finding the big shooter buck in the scope the night before, we were a bit concerned about Carl's ability to find and track the animals in the scope. With the rut in full swing, it didn't take long to be right back in the deer. Within a few hours of hunting, we found a group that we felt had a shooter buck in it.
Okay, he's right there. Okay, he's a doe there in the front. Doe there.
The buck's there, though. I saw him.
Yeah, okay.
There's the buck.
Apágalo. Yeah, there's a shooter.
And otro.
Okay, the last one. Bah! You can see the ass there. Bah! You got it. Yeah! You got it. I
think I shot him in
You
the
got
ass.
it. Yeah. That's
Reload.
Good. That's a good one.
Did he go down?
Yep.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Good job, guys.
That's a good one.
I couldn't see his head.
That's what I just
But I
shoot
could
him.
see his ass.
Yeah, I'm shooting there. Don't worry. Where's the deer, Carl? Yeah. Yeah, you cheated back.
I did. I know.
All these horns.
Show that buck.
Hey guys, come on.
Look at that, sir. How long has it been since you saw a deer like that?
Oh, probably 40 years.
Come on.
Yeah, I feel good.
And you did good. That was a tough shot.
That was fun. Nice set of horns. This is a nice ranch.
Welcome to Mexico.
Yeah, he's got a lot of nice deer here. Had a wonderful time out here the last few days. This is a really good ranch. It's HR Ranch. And what some wonderful people that run it. I appreciate all the guides, the cook, and the other people that are hunting here, and the cameraman. And this morning we ran into a couple of bucks with some does, and this is the result. It's a very nice deer. This summer, it was in July, I found out I had one one of the drawings for a mule deer hunt in Mexico at the H&R Ranch through Sportsman's Warehouse contest. I joined that when it first started, and it seemed like a good deal to me, and I believe it's really a good deal. And they've had a lot of winners that would say the very same thing. And I appreciate Mike Deming and the program that he's running, and I'd recommend anybody that's interested to join. It's a real chance to win some wonderful hunting trips and some other prizes that are really good too.
Well, congrats to Carl on killing his first 30-inch buck in over 40 years. I can't believe going 40 years without killing an animal, especially when I'm so passionate about killing big mule deer. And especially after the night before and the troubles we had, I'd say Carl redeemed himself well beyond belief. That was a shot that the best shooters would have definitely been challenged for. He made a great shot. And now with him tagged out, still a couple of days on the books right now. We've got pro member Mike Luter from Virginia here. Me and Wes are going to jump on the truck with him, see if we can get out and get him a good buck and get it on film. Mike was one of the pro members' lucky winners in the past as well. He won the trip to the 777 Ranch in Texas and donated his hunt to wounded warrior by the name of Jake Young. Jake harvested a great American bison and an aoudad on this trip. We had a great time on the trip, which took place just a couple of months before this current hunt. If there is such thing as karma, Mike Luter is much deserving when it comes to that. Now the hunter, and during the prime of the rut, we can only hope he gets rewarded. Whenever you're booking a trip to Mexico for mule deer, you're always hoping that you hit the rut just right. Deer densities in Mexico are low, and you need all the help you can get when targeting a big one.
Right there. Basta. He's got a good frame. I couldn't see for. He's got a big frame. He's got a good mass. Okay.
All I can see is a big frame.
Ándale.
Well, that was a really big deer. 30, maybe 29 and a half. 4x2. Big frame deer. You know what? That's why you come to Mexico. But trying to judge, make everything right, get it on film. We just said, no, it wasn't one we're going to shoot right now. So Mike's still got days. So maybe it'll happen tomorrow. We'll come back here. There's probably got to be a hot doe there. So we'll see what we find out.
We saw that buck last night. Just too dark to make the call. Looked like a good frame. We're going to roll back in there and we're going to set up and wait today. Just give it a little bit of time. We definitely have rut. We've got bucks with does. We're just creeping up on the 1st of January in Mexico. And it's happening. We've got cruising bucks. We just need to see the one.
Hugo runs a feed and water program year-round, which helps concentrate the densities of deer in this area, but you still need a break to get the one you want. You just never know when that time will be.
That's 4 bucks right here that we saw. Yeah, there's something going on right here. Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. We have 4 bucks within maybe a quarter mile right here in Sonora, Mexico. Rut is on and something's going on right here. It's about another quarter mile up here where we saw that big buck last night. They may have moved this way to the west. We'll go see what he's doing, if they're there. If not, we'll come over here. Maybe all those does are out up here. He's going this way.
We've seen 20 bucks today in Mexico. The rut is happening. About every group of does has a buck with them. Just looking for that one.
Deer hunting in the desert. We got a great big 3-point here. Probably 29 inches. Cannot say 30. But he's got us pegged. We're 130.
130, 140 yards away. Got his harem of does. It's 4x3. It's a good buck. I feel like I've just never seen a deer. All of a sudden, I get so excited. It's my first time in Mexico. Yeah. It's a 4x3, deep forked. We just saw a beautiful 28 7/8 inch 4x3 or 3x3. So we're in it. It's happening. The bucks are with does. It's super exciting. That's the guy with the tag right there. Didn't get any better than this. Let him keep coming.
With the last day of the hunt underway, one might think you would feel the pressure to fill a tag. This is a good mature buck, the lighting is good, and he's giving us every opportunity in the world for a good shot.
It's your goal, man. It's fun letting stuff go. Sure, baby. Yeah, he's coming.
With there being a hot doe right here, there could be a giant show up with this group at any time.
We're looking at letting another one go, which is crazy. Deer everywhere here. Mike says it's my tag to own it. Fine. That was fantastic. That buck came right into us. I thought he was getting out of his pocket. It was incredible. He stopped right there, broadside. It must have been, I don't know, maybe 100 yards in the best. Could have drilled him.
For a guy who's killed one mule deer, you're pretty picky.
I'm pretty picky. This guy. What is wrong with this guy?
When you trophy hunt, you take a lot of hunts to the last light of the last night. You also eat a lot of tags. We're getting pretty close to doing just that when we saw a herd of deer cross under the fence in front of us at just under a couple hundred yards. Lo and behold, when we got where we saw them last, he was just what we're looking for.
Shoot it. Bop. 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 Shoot. There he is. Got it. Let's go down.
Go down.
Let's go down. Got it. I don't know what it is. I just said, let her eat.
That was not the same deer that went under the fence.
No, that's another one. That's another one. What does that look for? Is that like...
Hey, I think we done killed us a nice mule deer in Sonora.
Hey, Mike. You got him, Mike. You got Mike.
Fine.
Sorry, big guy.
Yeah!
Letting a few
One
go.
more.
Attaboy.
Thanks,
Good
Deming.
One more.
One more. Whew. Hey.
It's the best thing I've seen.
Look at that, guys. Nice.
We got extras. We got extras.
What?
Well, congratulations to Mike Luter for killing his biggest buck of all time. Great mule deer. It's only his second one, and I'm sure he'll be back to Sonora. Congrats to Carl on killing a 30-inch mule deer, actually 30-and-a-half-inch mule deer, and his biggest buck in over 40 years. You know what? We definitely made some great memories down here with these guys. It's a reason we come down here to the desert each and every year, is to make memories, get out of the snow, and possibly kill another big giant mule deer. You could possibly kill the biggest buck of your life down here. It's absolutely a phenomenal place. We'll be back down here again next January. Come and join us. We really appreciate you joining us on this episode of Sportsman's News Television. We'll see you next time.
This episode of Sportsman's News Television is brought to you by the Sportsman's News Pro Membership Sweepstakes, where everyone hunts and fishes like the pros. Ford Trucks, Sitka Gear, Browning, Outdoor Edge Knives, Alps Outdoors, and Sportsman's Warehouse.